Stevie, you're killing me.
Oh, I'm killing everybody, Cole. What's up, everybody? Stevie Bizzle here for the Allegiance official podcast. It is Saturday, January 16th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, as we go live on Allegiance TV, courtesy of Twitch. I'm here with my fellow co-host, Mr. General Zod.
Hey everybody.
And of course, the angry, the poopy diapered Icicle.
What? I think I want to go back to lectures. This is terrible.
Well,
Well, it's kind of true. We did have to change you before we started, so.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
I
God.
didn't notice.
well, we got a good show here today, guys. We got fellow Trials genius, fellow Trials ranked player Sneaker coming on with us. We're gonna do a nice interview with him. We're gonna discuss the week that was, of course, what we were all up to this past week, along with a announcement Bungie's coming out with. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. We're going to discuss a little bit about what's up with Allegiance coming here in the next few weeks. We obviously have our podcast contest we run on a weekly basis. And Cole has some hints of destiny she wants to share with you surrounding the good old factions. So that's why I'm all alone right now. I'm all alone in the tower because there's no Cole and no Zod because Cole couldn't get her shit together to get her Chaos Cloak for future war cults.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So it's the
Yeah.
person who isn't even there at rank 25 yet.
Wow, geez, rare. We might have to change that diaper again, Cole.
Well, if you're gonna do that, at least give me a bottle of chocolate milk.
Ooh,
The whole 9 yards.
chocolate milk.
I hate chocolate milk. I actually don't like chocolate milk.
We'll get you a nice big sandwich
No.
of peanut butter and jelly. So,
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nasty.
Cole, I don't want to
Gross.
hear it right now, Cole. You're the one who said did not like peanut butter and jelly, which
It's
to me is
disgusting.
just...
Like the jelly soaks in the bread and makes it all soggy.
how
I
do
hate
you
it.
figure that jelly soaks in the bread? I don't even understand where you're coming from.
It like makes a stain and it's gross.
Makes a stain?
Yes.
The time
It's nasty.
what kind of peanut butter and jelly are you having? Are you like, yeah, make me that peanut butter and jelly. I'll come back in 12 hours. Oh, this sucks now. What is this? This is terrible.
Gross. Ugh.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
I don't really know where to go after this info.
I don't know. I mean, this is immediately killing the podcast because there's people leaving because you're a peanut butter and jelly hater. Like, we're already down 3 viewers because of that. Yeah, they're like, peanut butter and jelly hater? What the hell?
It's disgusting. It's just disgusting.
Oh yeah, right. So guys, we let's start out with what you guys were up to last week. Zod, what were you doing last week? Anything fun?
Oh man, well gaming wise I actually dived in a little more into Diablo 3, which I love. I played it when it first came out on PS3 and made the switch over to PS4 and they came out with a new expansion, so definitely diving into that and getting back into GTA 5 Online, man. So the cool thing about GTA for me at least is that it's one of those games where you can, play it for hours and really not accomplish anything, but just kind of bullshit around.
Like your life.
Yeah, exactly, Cole. Exactly. Like it's my it's my life being portrayed virtually, I guess, if you want to call it. But no, it's one of those games where you can play it and then you can always come back to it. And I've been playing it this week, and it's been a whole lot of fun, man. But gaming wise, it's been good. It's been good. It's mixing it up a little bit. So that's kind of where
I
I
also
went.
love you, Jaden. Peanut butter haters unite.
No.
Yes.
No.
This is a thing. This is a thing now. You can't stop the slows. It's been
Hashtag
going forever.
protect the jelly. That's what I want right
Yeah.
now on the podcast right now. If you're on the Twitch feed watching, and thank you for some of you guys watching through Sneakers podcast. I know he's dual streaming us, which is awesome. Thank you, Sneakers. He'll be on in the next 10-15 minutes here. But yeah, hashtag up, save the jelly, because we really do need to save the jelly here with
Fuck the jelly.
What?
Fuck the
What?
jelly.
What?
We'll let people decide.
Yeah, protect the jelly.
Yeah.
There we go. I like it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Brave. Thank you, Brave.
Yeah.
That's the best
Yeah.
part. So, so you're getting into Diablo 3, huh? Getting into that Blizzard action, Zod?
I am, man. I am, and it's actually, you know, I didn't like it as much when it first came out, and mostly because I played it on PS3. But it wasn't until I transferred over to PS4, gave it a second shot, that I started getting into it, and I loved it. And it does have a lot of the elements Destiny has in terms of grinding and collecting gear. Not as much as Diablo does compared to Destiny in terms of getting gear and whatnot, but it does have those elements, and I like games like that, so I fit right in, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it, especially with the new patch that came out. So,
Did you ever play the original
it's
ones,
fun.
like 1 and 2?
I didn't, man. I'm actually one of those people that never played the original ones. Never played them. So I got into that Diablo game pretty late. So yeah. Did you guys ever play Diablo?
I did.
I can't stand it.
What?
Stand it.
First-
Because it's fucking top down. It's disgusting.
Oh my god, really?
Just no.
The
man.
original Grand
No.
Theft Auto was top down, and I'm assuming you hated that too.
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness,
I
this
hate lots
girl.
of things.
It's not that bad. The top-down view isn't that bad. Like, it was. I will say this. I mean, I've never played a Diablo game, but it was weird to get
It's
used
weird at
to.
first,
But other
yeah.
than that, it wasn't. Yeah. But it was still an extremely fun game, and it actually found
I
myself
love
liking
Diablo.
the top-down view.
I love Diablo.
No.
Like, my first game actually I ever got really addicted to was StarCraft from Blizzard. So I went StarCraft and then the SOCOM. SOCOM was like really my big time game, which everybody knows by now. But StarCraft was really kind of the very beginning on. Remember those Macintosh computers that were different colors? Back in the late
Yeah.
90s?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I played
I
on
do.
that shit at my mom's house, and then I went from StarCraft to Diablo. I tried out Diablo 2.
You're playing StarCraft.
I-
I really can't.
I actually really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. A lot of my friends played. I was playing on dial-up though, so it really messed up my mojo because I'd be in the middle of like putting photon cannons down for Protoss, and I would end up sitting there and lagging out, and then the lag would come back, and then all of a sudden I'd get like attacked by a fucking Zergling rush. If anybody knows StarCraft, I'm probably speaking a foreign language right now if nobody knows
I
that,
might as
but
well speak my Star Wars language right now.
but yeah, it was.
Right now.
Yeah, but no, I love Diablo. Diablo is a great game. I actually I beat that entire game before. I want to say maybe in the middle of Destiny, maybe before Destiny. I went through the Reaper's Souls and I went through the whole process, and I still know some friends that are still playing it to this date. So
Now, do you play softcore or hardcore, as they call it? Diablo.
I ju-
Hardcore is the hardcore is the one where you create your own character, and if you die, he dies permanently, and you got to start all over again.
Oh
So,
God, that's a thing.
yep, that's a thing. That's a thing in Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. Yeah, so I actually, so I started hardcore, and I got my character to level 34, I believe, and then he died, and that was it.
so you just delete your character there because obviously you can respawn, right? But you're playing a hardcore
No.
version of, or
Yeah, hardcore. Like it's like this is it, man. Like if you have hardcore and you build up your character, once he dies, it's over. Like
it's not a
there's
game
no
mode
coming
though, is
back.
it?
Yeah, hardcore's like it's a game mode.
It's a
Game
game
mode?
mode in
You can
Diablo?
even-
That must be new.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
that.
It's yeah, you can play it in hardcore. Yeah, it's that's it. You're gone. Your character's
That's
gone
actually
and
pretty
over with.
interesting. I like that, because it makes you a hell of a lot more cautious as opposed to just running into a bunch of like undead stuff to essentially
Yeah,
die. Like
it
you
is-
gotta be really strategic in what you're doing.
And I mean, it's probably one of the final things because I want to platinum the game too as well. I'm not a huge trophy hunter per se, but if it's a game that I really enjoy and I spend so much time in, then I'll go out of my way to get the trophies.
I don't know
Yeah,
how you
it's-
guys do it.
It's one. Well, I don't do it for every game. Destiny, I did it for obviously I did it for Destiny because I'm always
No,
on
Destiny's
Destiny.
easy though.
How's the transition
Yeah.
from like, are you playing on the console or are you playing on the computer?
Well, I've never played Diablo. Well, I don't know. That's not true. I did. I bought it for PS3, and I didn't like it as much. And then I played it on my PC, and I started really getting into it. Um, and so what happened was when it came out for PS4, since I started loving it a little bit more, and I started understanding it a little bit more on PC, I played it for PS4 because I had friends who had it for PS4, and I ended up loving it. So. Um, it's been good, man. I mean, I love it. I love Diablo now. So it's that if you have never played any of the series, I've never played any of the series. It's Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls was my first one in terms of my introduction to the series. So I'm finding myself enjoying it a lot.
People hated on that Crusader when they announced that Crusader when Reaper of Souls came out, but I honestly love that character, and I don't know why so many people hated on the Crusader, but I enjoyed him.
Yeah.
He was kind of like a mix of a paladin and a warrior, or like he was.
Yeah, that's what he is, right? He's like a tank. He's this whole sponge and whatnot, and he is a bit slow.
Yes.
For my playstyle at least, but other than that, I mean, I love all the characters on Diablo. I've tried them all. I've had characters for all of them. I'm gonna start working on my Demon Hunter too as well. So.
That's a chick, right?
Yep, it's a chick.
Ooh.
It's a chick. Actually, with this new patch, man, they nerfed a lot of like I know the monk was a popular character. They nerfed the hell out of the monk too, so that's very sad. But
that's unfortunate. You know what I don't like about
about
Blizzard is just how much security you have to go through the account because there's so many hackers. I remember starting up a monk, and it was like at level 40, my account got hacked and all my gear went completely missing. Like I had to start basically all over, so all my gear was trash because a hacker got into my account somehow, and I even had a security code and everything to get in. It was pretty messed up. Like I was like, how the heck does that happen? Like, you know, Blizzard has had to do so many different things just because they've been hacked so often, or actually the users have been hacked from those games. It's quite annoying. You know, you put that time and effort into a game just to lose it because some fucking nerd wants to sit there and hack your shit and take it. Like it's mad annoying. But
I've never actually. I don't know. Like, does that happen often with Blizzard? Like, I don't want to make a statement here saying like it always happens with Blizzard.
It's only happened to
like
me maybe once or twice, but it was frustrating. I know some other guys that have had that happen to them too. So it's you gotta be really careful and put your security setting when you're playing a Blizzard game at like the max it can possibly be. So
yeah.
Cole, what have you been up to this past week aside from wanting to kill everybody in your office at work?
Actually, I've been working on a fun little quest. So yeah, it's been like a 2-month grind, and I got into the last leg of it this week. I've been trying to level. Well, I actually already did, but leveled up my Future War Call faction rank to level 25. When 25 drops, that's when you get the what is the word? Words fail
Rainbow
me.
Cloak.
Rainbow
No,
Cloak?
shut up, Sod. Quest! Haha! I remember the word. But
Oh my
so you get a
goodness.
quest for an exotic class item, which there is one for each class for each faction. So technically there's 9. And with an exotic class item, you get a special little animation when you res. It's actually really pretty, and you can actually equip it when you have other exotics on as well. So, I mean, there's really nothing really special about it other than the exclusivity. Something, that thing, that word.
The word?
My question to you, Cole, is what if you're a person like me who never dies? Then you'd never see an animation.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Actually, the animation also works when you're resing into, like, Crucible, for instance, or Trials. So you do see it, but it's there. But yeah, I've been working on that, and it's been a 2-month grind, going from 0 to level 25, which is actually quite difficult, because for each rank, it's 2,500 points. So, I mean, just a simple breakdown, if you want to do it really quickly, which is what I did, for each 5 motes of light, it's 100 points. For each heavy synthesis, it's 25 points. Now, doing the math, to get up to rank 25, you need 62,500 points. That's a lot. But That's a lot. So, moat-wise, you'd need 625 moats or 2,500 heavy synths. If you bought, let's say you go to Xur, which is what I did. I've been broke for 2 months. But if you just want the moats route, you could buy one moat from Xur for two. Shut up! Word! Failing me. But one moat from Xur for 2 strange coins each. That means you need 1,250 strange coins if you're just doing moats. If you're doing heavy synth, which you get 3 from Xur for each strange coin, you need 833 strange coins. It's a lot of stuff. But actually, Stevie, if you follow me, I'm gonna go pick it up right now because I just finished the quest. Like literally finished it.
All right, let's go see her new cloak. Oh,
we're going to witness a pickup of
stupid rainbow cloak. Come on.
You know what? You can suck it.
Like Kole said, for 2 months she went broke, right? Like you had no sense.
I had no sense even when I went into the hard mode raids.
Yeah, I know. You were on my event and you went, I have no sense. I'm like,
I have no sense. But yeah, I basically gave everything. I gave all my materials, all my armor, all my weapon parts, everything that I could possibly get. So yeah, I was pretty much for 2 months, but totally worth it. And
wow, look at that chaos cloak.
It's not even on yet.
Oh, look at that, John. Look at that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Oh well.
Yeah.
Look the same as your last cloak.
Shut up. But yeah, this is the exotic cloak. I need to go kill myself so I can see that res option.
Oh my goodness.
If it's unlocked. Shut up. It worked really hard, but it's okay.
Oh, guys,
initially when I first saw that cloak, it didn't look that good, but seeing it on you actually looks pretty cool.
Oh, he just gave you a compliment. He just gave you a compliment, Kole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blanket.
So it's that time, guys. As we're at 16 minutes. Actually, well, you can continue later, Kole. I know you're excited. Look at that.
Over there.
And I should up here in a minute.
Alright, come on.
Oh, okay. It popped me all the way over here. Whoops.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool. Trophy.
It's time to move on.
Yeah, it's time to move on from all this future war crap. So, before we get sneakers in here, let's announce our Allegiance Podcast contest for the week. So, we have a special question on the podcast last week. We had the leader of Safe Gamers, Smurf, come on board. And the question this week is, what is Smurf going to school for? So he's currently in school. What was he going to school for? First person to answer it on the Twitch feed gets the podcast contest winnings of the week. So we will be keeping an eye out on that. As we keep an eye out on that, we have our special fellow guest coming on board here. Let me give him a nice straight introduction. He is the host of Trials Network? Trials Network? Is that what it is, Sneaker?
Yeah.
That's correct, man.
All right, I wanted to make sure I got it right. So he's ranked on Trials. He does a lot of Trials, big PvP player on Destiny. Let's give it up for Sneakerheadbsj. What up, Sneaker?
What's going on, guys? Thanks so much for having me on your show.
Not a problem, not a problem. So, fellow Trials player, huh?
Yeah, when I first started playing Destiny, I wasn't much big on playing raids and stuff, and so I always stuck with PvP, and then once Trials came out, that was just like a kind of a getaway for me, and it kind of reminded me of Call of Duty, like as in Search and Destroy for Trials. In Elimination, you had to be the last people living to win the game, and so it's just like an instinct for me to play, and it's something I really enjoyed, so that's really what brought me upon playing Trials.
That was a great introduction to the PvP, the whole PvP aspect of Destiny, right? It was kind of, aside from Iron Banner, there really wasn't much else to do in PvP on Destiny, and then when they introduced Trials, I know I fell in love with it personally. It seems like the challenge of getting the Lighthouse is, it is a challenge, but it's always different each week, like with the type of players that you come up with, as opposed to the raid. In my personal opinion, this isn't opinion of anybody else. My personal opinion, I think it's much more difficult to complete a lighthouse run than it is to down Oryx, and it's pretty much the same each week. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and bringing Trials to Destiny was a huge part of the competitive aspect of playing Destiny, and it was definitely the first. I mean, like you said, going back, Iron Banner was competitive, and now Iron Banner is more of just playing Control all over again, just grinding out for a piece of armor. And now Trials is going against the best teams that are out there in PvP. For example, myself, I've played Crafty, I've played Hovey and Manigator, I've played Fizzer, I've played all really well-known PvP players, and it's definitely, it reminds me of playing Halo. I was a big Halo player and very competitive in that, so it's definitely a nice outlook for me.
So, how many times have you been to the Lighthouse?
Currently right now on my Hunter, I've been 73 times. On my Warlock, this is 16 because I actually just started this Warlock, and on my Titan, it's 34. I usually main my Hunter, but now fell in love with the Stormcaller. It's just so OP right now. You got the Ionic Blink and Landfall. It's just a dirty combination.
I think I'm gonna cry.
73 times with your Hunter.
Insane. That's insane.
16 times with your Warlock, you said, and 33 times with your Titan. Am I correct?
Yep. Yes,
so
that's correct.
122 trips to the Lighthouse. Holy crap.
I'm gonna cry. Holy shit.
Cole's only been to the Lighthouse once. In year one.
What?
Yeah.
So have I, actually. I've only been once to the Lighthouse. Yeah, in year one. I've gone very close, man. I've gone 8 and once, and 8 and once.
Well, you two should learn a lot tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good just hitting like 8 times. I think I've been to Lighthouse 8 or 9. Well, total, even year one, I'd probably say I'm in double digits, probably 10 or 11, and I thought that was good, but now hearing you, I feel like a complete noob, so.
No, yeah. And the thing is, like, it's not, I actually love the PvP aspect of this game. I just wish I would spend more time on it, and I think a lot of our members in the clan feel the same way. I think a lot of, I don't know, this is strictly my opinion, I think when it comes to Trials, I think that a lot of people would love to get into it. I just think they're very, I don't want to say scared, but maybe they don't know. Yeah, intimidated would be a much nicer word to put it. I do enjoy what Destiny has done in year 2 for the Trials in terms of bounties and whatnot. It gets a lot more people to participate. But Sneaker, what are some of your tips to those players who are just intimidated by the whole experience, man?
I mean, honestly, you shouldn't be intimidated. You should grab your card, grab your boons, hop right in there. I'm a very passive player. I like to kind of stay back. I'm probably I'm based now as a well-known sniper through Destiny. When I first started playing Destiny, I was very intimidated with Crucible because coming into Destiny from Call of Duty and Halo, the pace slowed down a lot. It wasn't as fast as, you know, Call of Duty with running through with exosuits. So I definitely had to slow my pace down. And so coming into Destiny, I probably had like a 0.2 KD. I was terrible. Worst player.
Wow.
I would say I was horrible. So I really took the time to watch a bunch of YouTube videos, watch other streamers, and watch how they played Crucible. And that's really how I built myself up to be a really good Crucible player now. I was just watching other players, learning their tactics, what they do. And so then I started deleting all my characters to restart my stats. And I mean, I've taken a lot of heat from it because, I mean, people are like, oh, you're not a true Destiny player now, whatever. But, I mean, I had to do what I had to do to build that KD and stuff back up because it was terrible. I mean, there was one point where I would go flawless every single week, have crazy KDs and stuff in the game, and people are like, oh, you're so good, but then they look at my stats and I got a, 5.8 KD, and they're like, there's no way you're this good. And so then it just gave me the hindrance of, hey, I got to restart my characters, and that's what currently I'm working on right now is, like I said, I deleted the Warlock. That was my first character, and now I've built it back up, and now I believe I stand at like a 2.36 on this Warlock for Trials, and so I'm trying to build everything back up. But for going into Trials, I mean, you can't really be scared. You're going to play good teams. The best advice is play till about that sixth game. Once you get to the 6th game is when it really starts to get competitive. I mean, 1 through 6 usually is a breeze for me. I do a lot of double carries, so I talk to them and tell them, like, just, you got to go in there with your mind that you want to win. Go in there, a lot of people ask me, what guns should I use? What guns? You got to go into a game and play with the guns that you're comfortable with and that you know you're going to be able to get a kill with. You can't go try to snipe if you're not a sniper. You can't go use a shotgun if you're not a rusher. It's just plain simple. And so, just don't be intimidated. You got to hop in there and put in work. And that's, a lot of people are scared because as soon as they get in the game, and I think it's all kind of a sociology thing where you get into a game, let's say you're playing a really good player, you're like, oh, he's good, I'm going to lose. You're already putting it in your mind that you're going to lose. And so
like you're psyching yourself out.
Exactly. So that's probably the best advice I have for most players. I mean, you got to be yourself.
Right.
Is there any...
That's true what you said, too.
Is there any game mode that you would recommend people to practice in before? Did you practice before going into skirmish, or was it more of just a constant grind in trials to get familiar with the gameplay of trials, to increase your skill level to get to where you're at today?
So going in back to what I said, like in year 1, I was really bad. So year 1 for trials for me was really tough. I wouldn't recommend if you're... It all depends though. Like I said, I'm a trials player, so if you want to be good at Crucible in general, start slow. Go into a 3v3, go into skirmish, go into a game of elimination, Inferno skirmish. Start small. If you like objectives, go hop into salvage, and just build upon getting used to the 3v3 situations, because that's what trials is. That you won't play 6v6. So. But if you want to just play Crucible in general, if you like the objective, go play Control. But if you like just getting the kills and it being a straightforward game, Clash is going to be your best option. So, practice-wise, if you want to get good sniping, I would say go play Skirmish, because it's a lot slower gameplay. But if you just going for kills, I'm going to tell you to go play Control, because you have a lot more time to get more kills. So, with that being said, going back into trials, if you want to get good at trials, I mean, you just got to practice it. You got to learn the maps. You got to learn all the hot spots, where people run through. You got to learn where people come at every time, and that's a big part of it, is just knowing the maps and having communication with your team.
Now, would you say, like, one of the biggest things I know with my gameplay, and I am nowhere near the level that you are, Sneaker, with the amount of times you've been to the Lighthouse, but one of the biggest things that I notice is map understanding. So understanding what the hotspots are in trials, knowing where people typically snipe. I'm typically sniping too, in the beginning of each game, and it has a tendency when you get into into that 6th, 7th round, it seems to be like who's the better snipers in each round sometimes in some particular matchups you have. But would you say that understanding the map and also familiarizing yourself with your radar are two key things that maybe people that might struggle in trials could easily obtain over time? Something that they could improve on fairly quickly is just understanding where to be strategically, as well as reading the radar a lot better than they might be, beforehand.
Well, it's not, I wouldn't say so much you're using your radar. I mean, obviously you're going to use your radar, but I think what helps me the most is going, like, for example, because I snipe, I set myself up in a location that I know that I don't have to worry about behind me. So I'll go set myself up between 2 doors where I can just keep swinging back and forth between left and right, knowing that. But yes, watching my radar being able to help me, or most of the times I like the pressure of the 1v3 situations, and that's, I think, what has made me a better player is both of my teammates are dead, and just hearing them communicate like, hey, he's coming through this door now, be careful, but you have another guy pushing. So I know how, like, if I'm playing on my hunter, hey, throw a trip mine on this door and push back over to the other guy, because the guy's going to run through the door and die from the trip mine, so I have nothing to worry about there. So it's more of, like I said, it's back to knowing the map. You got to know the locations, where to set your grenades, if you're using a trip mine or lightning grenade, or just if you want to just push hard and use a arc bolt or firebolt, just something like that. So, but if you're going to start slow, the best thing, if you want to use your radar, if you're a hunter, is use the Still Piercer, because it breaks that radar up into 8 different slices, so you can have a better understanding of where they're coming from in it, instead of it just being that one big piece of red at the top or the left or right, so and on. So it's just knowing the map, really.
Is there a here's one for you. Is there, you've been to the lighthouse with all characters numerous times. Is there one character that you prefer to use in Trials in particular compared to others, or it's just because every character has a different game style? Is there one that you prefer a little bit more?
Well, before TTK, I always used the hunter. I mean, back in year 1 in vanilla and stuff, the hunter was, to me, the master race for Crucible. You had the Blade Dancer and the Golden Gun. So it was kind of overpowered to me. So then the Taken King came out, and all you saw was Hammer of Souls. That's all you saw. So I set myself to, hey, I started with the Warlock. Let's try the Warlock. Let's try the Stormcaller. And I don't think people realized how overpowered the Stormcaller is if you know how to use it. So, for example, my setup is definitely the Stormcaller. I run Arc Bolt Grenades, and I run Impossible Machines on this character that grants me landfall so that I can use Ionic Blink at the same time. And literally, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten myself out of situations with the Ionic Blink, dodging other supers, or just being able to get away from enemies to recover health. And so, with that being said, the landfall is basically using the Titan Striker, and probably 2 weeks ago, that's really where I learned how to fully use the landfall to its advantage, because it was back on Frontier. I had a guy set a bubble on a bridge, and I literally just dropped down into the bubble, popped my landfall, and they were all 3 dead, and I was like, wow, I didn't really understand how overpowered the super actually is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with that, because there's many times I've shot down Warlocks coming at me, or just outran them. It's really easy to outrun a Warlock. But,
yeah, but you also got to realize that part. You got to know how to use it. Like, most people panic and use their supers. You got to strategically use your super, and that's another thing that Ionic Blink helps you with, is getting picked off before you're at them, because you can just keep blinking, jump up in the air and blink, and they can't hit you with a sniper unless they're at that level where they know how to blink snipe. So, I mean, it's easily countered, but you're able to be that subject where you can counter back if you know how to use it.
Yeah, that's true to every character. I mean, Cole, you said you've stopped many Warlocks. Well, I mean, you could make the same case for any other character. It's just it's just all about the strategy and how they're using their super, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is,
for example? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So what I've been noticing lately is, based on going through trials, it seems like the hot gun of choice is the Meta multi-tool. Have you been seeing a lot of that since they reintroduced it?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I mean, I'm running it as well now. I would definitely say bringing that back when they brought some more exotics back in was definitely a good choice. I mean, it's deadly from long range. Same damage based over time, and I mean, you have the third eye on it, and you also have the Mida perk that gives you faster speed movement, so you can easily get out, and you also have quick draw, so you're able to pull that gun up a lot faster than most. But I've seen between that and Last Word mostly for the last 2 weeks since it's been back. But yeah, I'm very excited that they brought that back, and I've been using it a lot, and it's helped me. And if I had to suggest a gun to use for trials, I would say definitely use the Mida.
Yeah, no doubt. And I've seen a significant drop-off on pulse rifles, but I know I still use my Nerwins just because of the type of role that I have it on. I don't have it on this character because I was rolling with my hunter last week, but role I have it on, I think, is like perfect stability, and like the stability is completely maxed out on it. And even though the pulse rifles took a nerf, it didn't take a big enough nerf where I still see people use some pulse rifles in trials where it doesn't negate the fact of some others using other guns. I still feel like they're good to use.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just have to get that extra shot off. It's really another burst. That first bullet of the fourth burst is what's going to kill them. But I definitely agree with you, man. Pulse rifles used to be amazing. That's all I ran was the Red Death. That's actually my favorite exotic for Destiny is the Red Death. It's always been. I just like being able to regain my health after I get an instant kill, so then I'm back up in the fight if there's another person there. So, with that, I definitely would agree that they did take a little hard hit with the nerf, which I didn't agree with. I mean, I think everybody just complained so much about the Hawk Saw, and that's really what did it.
I know, and then they go ahead and nerf everything. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, it comes down to the weapons that you're. I mean, at least for me, that's what it is. Because I think you touched on this a little bit earlier. Was that most people sort of go with what's out and popular, but that might not be the best gun for you. Like I recently started using the Mida, and I never used that weapon. I never even would think of using that weapon, and it's worked out pretty well for me. So I feel comfortable with it. So I'm using it. And then I talked to other people who still prefer like Stevie. I know you prefer your pulse rifle, and I know they took a bit of a hit, but I would assume if it's something that you're comfortable with, you know.
Especially with someone, you know, I mean, like, I've lost some gunfights in the past, but, you know, it goes back to what Sneaker said, right? I've been using Nerwin since the start of TTK, because when I got that drop, which honestly, it's a pretty rare drop in Iron Banner. You don't see Nerwin's drop as much anymore. It was just, you know, you could buy it in the beginning, but, you know, mine was a physical drop in Iron Banner. It's a fairly, you know, it's not the most common pulse rifle is what I'm trying to say. It's not something that everybody has, from what I've noticed. So.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
definitely not.
I got a question for you. What if someone is not very skilled with a sniper or a shotgun? What would you suggest?
I mean, you're gonna have to use a primary. If you're not good with a sniper or shotgun, you're definitely gonna have to use your primary, and you're gonna have to use your grenades. So that's gonna be your secondary, really, is knowing when to use that grenade. Whether it's getting 2 shots off of your Mida and then throwing a firebolt or whatever your grenade is in there, it's gonna get you that kill. And then it's you basically wanna just build your character off of the discipline and being able to generate your grenades faster. Like right now, when I go into Trials, I run my discipline all the way max, so I get my grenades every 15 seconds with a certain piece of armor. And so it's just nice because I'm spamming grenades constantly. But once again, like, I was kind of that guy that didn't know how to snipe, didn't know how to use a shotgun. To this day, I can still not use a shotgun. All I do now is snipe. I would say that my 1,000-yard stare is definitely my primary, but if you don't know how to snipe, the best thing to do, like I said, is go play skirmish and practice. I mean, all you got to do is practice. I was terrible, and it just took practice, and once you get adjusted. And another thing is, don't switch guns too much. Constantly use the same gun, because you're gonna get a good feel for that gun. You're gonna remember how to use the gun. But every gun's different in Destiny. You got different hitbox sizes as well. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but recently in Trials and PvP as well, I'll be running around a corner and I'm behind the corner, but just the delay of the hitbox, it just kills you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So.
Definitely noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I'm playing for the next month. Lots and lots of skirmish.
Well, I think sniper. I think, you know. I mean, it's funny. I want to say this, but at the same time, I can think of other scenarios in the opposite way. But, you know, I think the easiest thing to do, you know, is if you're a rusher, you know, get really good with the shotgun and understand. You know, if you really like to push players, you know, the shotgun is really what you're going to want to get good with, especially, you know, picking your rushing points, and tell me if I'm going in the wrong direction here, Sneaker. And then if you're a little bit more laid back, like kind of what your gameplay is, Sneaker, and probably similar to yours, Kole, is trying to get good with the sniper, just because you can really change a game if you get really good with the sniper rifle. You can really, you know, affect where people go. You can cut off certain alleyways. You can have teams maybe hold back a little bit based on, you know, your sniping skill. There's really, it's so interesting to me in Trials because there's so many different strategies different teams use that it is almost different each week, is it not?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I 100% agree with everything that you just said. If you're using a shotgun and you know how to rush, you have an advantage because snipers usually choke when you're up close.
Yep.
It's a proven fact. I see it all the time. And they don't know how to get the quick scope or the drag scope that close, and so it's a choke and they're dead. But then for using a sniper rifle, if you get that pick early on, it's game from there, because as long as you have a sniper that can hit that res shot, you're gonna win that situation in that scenario by far. But it's all about the team build and you having somebody. For example, I don't always double carry. My partner right now, and I mean a big shout out to him, is DT Hunter. If you guys have never watched him, great player, check him out. He is definitely a rusher, knows where to be at the right moment, and I'm laying back getting the snipes off for him so that he can push up and cause the other players to choke, which is a great combination. And so that's 99.9% of the time we're successful in Trials is because of that, knowing how to play rushers and knowing how to play people like me that are laid back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna do a lot of skirmishes. I tried shotgun. I always try to aim it and then pull the trigger. It doesn't really work out.
And that's exactly what happens for me too. That's why I don't use a shotgun, is I don't have that luck. I mean, I could be point blank on you and I pull the trigger, and for some reason they just don't die for me.
I think with Trials too, I don't think, some people, going back to the reason why some people shy away from it, I think people just get frustrated too quickly with it. They just try to think that they can just jump into Trials quickly, and or even say, oh, I'll just play Trials and I'll just at least try to get the bounties. But even finishing the good bounties, it can either take a while, or it's not. You really gotta you gotta come in with a game plan or you're winning it all. In my personal opinion, I've been with a lot of teams or tried to help some people out sometimes just to finish bounties, and we really fell on our face because their head wasn't completely into it because they're playing bounties. They're not playing to win or complete a full card flawless.
Absolutely agreed. I definitely have noticed now a lot of people have also been just killing themselves just to purposely get the passage coins, because you don't really get them as a drop anymore in Crucible. So probably, I think it was last week, I got into one card with a viewer, and his first 4 games were simple because we got into a game where people just killed themselves, and it sped the card up so much faster. But then going towards the end of that card, you get people who get in there and think that they can speed up the game and just rush and rush and rush, and it's not really. Trials is more laid back. I mean, you can play the game as a Russian style, but it's going back to what you said. It's all about really sniping now in Trials. Who's the best sniper for that map?
All right. What is the map this week? I haven't even been in there yet.
The map. I honestly don't even remember the map name, but it is the somebody in the you guys' stream. Please type what the map's called. Oh, Blind Watch.
Blind Watch.
Oh, I could totally do that this week. Holy crap!
What is Blind Watch? I'm trying to think of the.
That is the one on Mars. What is it?
It's the one on Mars with the
yeah.
Where the heavy spawns down on the little bottom sliding door side, and then you got the thing.
Oh yeah, you have it on the side. Yep. And then B point is that middle circle room. With the I know that one. So what are some tips on that map for this week for guys that are listening to this podcast stream and going, hey, I'm motivated to get into Trials now. Let's do it. What are some map strategies for Blind Watch this week? I don't know why people talk that way, but they do, Zod.
I think only you talk that way. I think that's only you.
I would definitely say strategy based for this week is if you spawn on the side with the little turning thing in the middle outside, you have the advantage because they're going to come from the inside, and then all you got to do is wait for the doors to open. But if you're rushing, definitely you're able to push underneath that awning. That's where a lot of people like to jump up on and snipe. And if you just push under that and get behind them, it's golden from there. That's what I've noticed. And I mean, if you honestly want to wait for the capture zone to come down to it and capture, you can easily set yourself up under the awning because that's, for some reason, it's not spawning at the B flag, it's spawning underneath the awning. So just run down there and do your thing. So, but yeah, going into the best strategy I would say is if you're outside, snipe. If you're inside, use shotguns and wait for them to push in on you.
I think I might go play some after this podcast.
See? It's one of those people like, I'm motivated to play Trials now. Oh, I got the timing perfect, Sneaker. You see that?
Well.
That's perfect timing right there.
Oh, God. Perfect synchronization.
I'll tell you guys what, after this podcast, if two of you want to go play with me, I'll try to run you guys through. I mean, I can't promise it because I don't have DT with me, but we'll give it a shot if you guys are down.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
There you go, guys. So, so cool. Zod?
So,
I'm excited now.
For the, just to recap some of the things you're saying, for a lot of the people who never really dive into Trials, just find a gun that you're comfortable with. Look at your, start looking at your builds, because it sounds to me that once you want to get into PvP aspect, you start looking at your intellect, discipline, right, strength, and all that stuff. So, start looking into that, and definitely grenades, right?
Man, yeah, I focus on grenades way too much. I think I kind of have an obsession with it, so I'm always like trying to find what's the best grenade for other players, and just if you have two people and there's one guy, 2 grenades, he's dead, guaranteed. So
I am
that's
freaking
like
addicted to sticking people with fusion grenades. It is so much fun. Oh my god! Like, it's so funny. All the players that I run with when I'm running Trials are like, Stevie, how the hell did you get so good with sticking people? I go, because I like to do it so much that I just kept doing it over and over again, and pretty soon you just get used to the grenade. I actually am so used to the fusion grenade and the way I play with the fusion grenade now that I used to be really dirty with the lightning grenade, but I'm so out of practice with how to play with the lightning grenade. It's almost a different strategy with different grenades, and you got to get used to the certain grenade that you feel comfortable with because, lightning grenades, what are you looking for? You're looking for specific walls to stick to that'll make a difference in the game, where fusion grenades, you're just throwing it right at their face, so it's different per... I think guys try to switch it up too much. They gotta stay consistent with something and get used to it.
Exactly.
I hate those frickin' fusion grenades. I just hear that little sticky sound. Oh,
it's great.
I might as well just set down my controller for the next 5 seconds.
That's my defense to shotgun rushers when I'm sniping. Is I'll see something on my thing and they're just rushing hard and I'll just be like, beep, and they might kill me. But I'm taking you down with me. That's my whole game plan.
Definitely. I mean, it helps, but I would definitely disagree that I just can't stand sticky grenades. I like the whole having to actually be a challenge with a grenade, but a lot of grenades are kind of OP now, so it's not really a challenge anymore.
Yeah. Plus fusion grenades track too, if you throw it the right way.
Exactly. I mean, you could I mean, honestly though, you standing right here at me, I could throw it a mile away from you to the left, and it's gonna hit you. It's kind of OP.
Yeah, which is the best part about it.
Exactly.
So, what would be a newbie loadout? Like someone who's just starting to practice, like has pretty much all the guns from PvE, right? Like has a lot of drops. Well, let's just say they have a good amount in their inventory. Been playing since year 1. Have maybe 75%, let's say, of the year 2 guns. What would be the best newbie loadout, let's say, or first timer loadout to really get in there and at least have some success or have a good foundation to start up on?
Definitely, if you primary base, I would definitely have to say use the last word or Mida if you have it. If not, use something like Doctrine of Passing or the xAllegiancex. Literally, those 2 auto rifles are killing the Trials game right now. I see them so much. If you get the right roll from the lighthouse, it's a good gun to use. Secondary wise, if you're gonna use a shotgun, I would say use probably Conspiracy Theory or I can't remember the name of it, but what's that one shotgun? Invective. So you got the full auto on that. And then for sniping, 1,000-yard stare. If you're a hunter, definitely use the steel piercer. I know a lot of people have the Irene RR4. You could use that. A good beginning sniper rifle for people to learn is definitely the glass promontory. It has a high target acquisition based. I know a lot of the guns have hidden stats, and target acquisition on that's 75%. Or another good gun to use to learn to snipe is Hereafter. You have an 80% target acquisition. So those are definitely two guns for snipers for people to start with Trials, because Trials is now sniping game on this. It depends on the map. I mean, if you get a close range, small map, you're going to run shotguns, for example, Drifter and the Anomaly. And then for sniping, I mean, you got all these open maps like Widow's Court, Frontier, and Blind Watch, and so on.
What would be your loadout for heavy? Like, let's talk about a heavy round that drops. Like, what is your strategy with heavy, and then what would you recommend for someone? Like, say for an example, they're running the Mida, right? So let's say, you know, the Mida is a fairly easy gun to transition to, right? You know, just getting into it. You know, Mida is pretty strong right now, and then they go secondary. We'll say Conspiracy Theory D, or yeah, or 1,000-yard stare, or any of the sniper rifles you named. So they already use their exotic slots. So what would you recommend as terms of a legendary for your heavy round?
Yeah, so definitely for legendary, for heavy, I would definitely have to say go with 1,000-yard stare. No, I'm just kidding. Let's not talk about heavy round. It's actually the least favorite thing I have about Trials.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I cannot stand heavy rounds. I hate using heavy. I wave it off, and if you guys are familiar with a wave, in Trials when you wave, it basically means don't pick up heavy. And so you'll get into a game, if you see people wave on the heavy round, that's what that means, is play the game normally without heavy. But right now I've been running the machine gun Ruin Wake. I really like it. It's got a high impact, a fast rate of fire, and I got rangefinder and surrounded on mine, so whenever they're close to me I get a nice little bonus accuracy. But if you have the raid weapons, going back, it's someone that's PvP and you have the raid weapons, go with the Ilium's Frenzy. If you get tracking on that, or grenades and horseshoes, a good roll on that is going to be very helpful if you don't have the truth. I mean, but a lot of times you see players that go into the heavy round and they'll switch their primary exotic for the truth because the truth is really, really good.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, you can also get from the gunsmith the Suros JLB 47. I mean, you got tracking and grenades and horseshoes, so it's kind of...
Really? The Suros has both of those, the
yes.
rocket launcher from the gunsmith. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's actually my roll. I got it last week. I mean, it's going to come around again, so be sure to pick that up. It's the Suros JLB 47. It's got tracking, grenades, horseshoes, and javelin. So it's super fast rocket that's going to track you and explode wherever your proximity is.
That's essentially what you know, if you're familiar with Year 1 Trials, it's essentially what oh god, what was that rocket launcher with 3 tubes? It's basically the Smolder now, but it was called... No, it was something you got in Trials beforehand. Oh my god, what was it called? Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. But it held... yeah, it's my brain for thinking. It had 3 tubes, so you had 3 rockets in one round. It had grenades and horseshoes, and it had tracking too. And I'm just trying to freaking think what it was.
Ash Factory? I don't know if you guys just said that. Is it Ash Factory?
No, it's not Ash Factory. Something else.
Hold on, I think I still have it in my vault. I know what you're talking about.
It's like it was a Year 1. I dismantled it, so I completely forget what it was called, but...
Tomorrow's Answer?
Yes, Tomorrow's Answer. That's what it was. Tomorrow's Answer was so dope in Year 1 for a legendary rocket launcher. And yeah, that sounds like that Suros rocket launcher is very similar to that one. So that's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other Cole, I'm surprised you haven't asked more questions. You're like the newbiest of the group with Lighthouse and Trials.
Yeah. No, I mean, actually just going with the loader right now, because I already carry a Mida, or Mida, however you want to pronounce it. It's funny you actually recommend the glass promontory, or whatever it's called. I actually have that weapon, and the only reason I kept it because it was pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Nothing to do
The
with.
only reason why I kept it because it was
It's so pretty.
I would hate to see what your vault looks like right now, to be honest with you.
You really don't want to see my vault. I mean, I have year 1 cloaks just because they're pretty.
Oh
Wow,
my
I'm
God.
actually looking at yours right now, and you have a phenomenal roll on it, to be honest. That's ridiculous, and it's 317. The only thing
Yeah.
that's bad about the gun is you can't res snipe. But if I were to say, since you're wanting to be good at snipers use, and switch from quick draw to snapshot.
And
Oh yeah, she has better target acquisition on it, which is a huge perk for snipers. Hitting hand is huge, and then even injection mold on it too. You know, you can put injection mold on that, switch that over, and then.
So what you're saying is this
the ambush.
for me
Damn,
was
the
like...
ambush scope too. Whoa.
Well, had
Yeah.
gold
What
and
you're
she didn't
saying
notice.
I know, it's like handing a 5-year-old a rocket launcher. Like, they don't even know what kind of power they're wielding. I had no idea. It's just pretty, so I kept it.
Well, let's go ahead and announce the winner of the podcast contest here. I think it's about that time because we're towards the tail end. But do we have a winner, Kole, for the podcast contest?
We actually do, and it's funny because this person's probably gonna win something else later in the month. Hint, hint, wink, wink. It's actually our very own Brainless.
Nice.
Brainless King got the right answer.
And Brainless most likely is going to win the Member of the Month probably tomorrow, since she has a 21 vote lead on anybody else who's
31. Oh, lead.
No, yeah, she's 21 vote lead on everybody else. So it's kudos to you, Brainless. Now you got a podcast contest win, and you're gonna get your Member of the Month prize too, which is pretty cool. So kudos to you. Any questions for us, Sneaker?
I mean, no, honestly, I just really thank you guys for having me on your podcast. And like I said, anybody that wants to know more about Trials, I host a podcast every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time about Trials. So feel free to stop by my channel and check that out. And I'm definitely going to help you guys get your name out there. I know you guys were talking about you just want to get your name out there, and I'm definitely going to help you guys with that because you guys host a really good show, and once again, I'm very thankful for having me on.
Thanks, man. We appreciate
I'm happy just being here. I learned a lot.
I know.
Yeah,
that was.
Appreciate it, man.
It was funny how it worked too, because we were all talking about doing like a Trials training session, right? So we like having a Trials training podcast. So, maybe we have when we get into the Trials one week, and we do a hosting session, or if one of us is not here, maybe we can bring you in, Sneaker. We'll do a trial session. You can kind of point out certain things for individuals that are looking at trials. We can do it live on the podcast one time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually going to be streaming after this, and I know Kole, you said you wanted to run trials, and whoever, either one of you guys want to come, feel free. I mean, I can give you a nice quick rundown of blind watch and what works and what doesn't for this week.
Yeah, Sneaker, if you want to pop that link up on the Twitch feed right now, so we can have that like right in front, so people know where to go right after this podcast. Because I'm sure you'll get some viewers going over there to learn a little bit, especially if you have Kole on it. I mean, Jesus. Oh, that's right, we block links.
I'm not that much of a character.
Let's just voice it then. Actually, you can do it without the www Sneaker, because Moobot will be all over your ass if you do it with the www.
Yeah.
He's straight up an asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. It actually popped up. Looking at the stream, it popped up on the side.
Oh, did
everybody.
it? All right. Oh, there it is. Yep, there it is. So, so guys, so it's twitch.tv/sneakerheadbsj. So his PSN that you see here, twitch.tv / backslash. Did I say underscore backslash sneakerheadbsj? So, I can't believe I just said that. Any final thoughts, Zod?
No, man. There's a lot of great info, and I definitely will be getting into the PvP aspect of this game a lot more. So.
No doubt. I think we're we're all in the same boat there. So thank you so much, Sneaker, for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. Guys, tune in next week. We actually have a fellow. You might know this guy, Sneaker. He's gonna be joining us next week. Josh Clout.
Ah, yes.
Yes,
We actually play Trials together a lot.
Yeah, so Cloud's going to be joining us next week for a double dose of Trials. He'll probably want to be talking a lot about PvP too, since a lot of people are transitioning to the PvP side of the game. Now with things kind of slowed down in Destiny, PvP has a tendency to always be a little bit different each week. But yeah, Cloud's going to be joining us, and thank you so much for joining us, guys. Another great podcast. Tune in next week for Cloud, and tune in right afterwards on Sneakerhead's Twitch. He'll be guiding this newbie Kole with a rainbow sprinkle cloak to hopefully a lighthouse and Zod. So thank you so much, guys. Till next time, always here on Allegiance TV.